I'm Adam Smith, and pleased to say that I will be alongside Joe Tomlinson and Harry Panera. We are on day 2 going into game 4, Joe. It has been quite simply a brilliant tournament so far.
Oh, how many goals have we seen? I've run out of fingers to count them on. We have seen some unbelievable matches so far. We're going to touch upon them in just a minute. But just a quick reminder for everybody watching to stay home and save lives. It's very, very important to stay inside right now. And that the prize fund from this E-Premier League Invitational tournament will be donated to the Players Together initiative. Fantastic, fantastic to see. The game we're about to watch then is Tottenham versus Newcastle. It'll be Moussa Sissoko representing Tottenham against Christian Atsu of Newcastle. We've seen some fantastic games today, but for people who might well have missed some of the games, Smithy, I want to just do a quick recap on the explainer of the rules.
Yeah, absolutely. These are the all-important rules that you need to be aware of throughout the tournament. Okay, the EPL Invitational, it's a straight knockout tournament. So if you lose one game, you are out. It is as simple as that. Each round consists of just one single match. Every single Premier League club is represented by either a player from their squad or a celebrity fan. 2 celebrity fans involved. The other 18 are first-team players. Each game consists of 2 6-minute halves. In the event of a draw, a golden goal will be used to determine a winner. We haven't seen a golden goal yet. Will we see one today? Every Premier League squad, importantly, will be 85 rated in kickoff mode. So just to make it completely fair for everyone. And it's been a fantastic format, Joe, because as you say, there have been goals galore, and this is what it has meant for the draw.
Yeah, we'll run through some of today's results first and foremost then. Trent Alexander-Arnold representing Liverpool beat Manchester United's Tom Grennan 5-1 to progress to the quarter-final. We're yet to see the Newcastle game. That'll be coming with you in just a few minutes' time. Everton absolutely dispatching Chelsea 8-0 thanks to an unbelievable performance from Andre Gomez. Reece James not happy in that one. And then the first game of the day saw Manchester City beat Crystal Palace 5-4. Raheem Sterling progressing through there to face Andre Gomez. Tomorrow you're going to see Wolverhampton Wanderers against Leicester City in the form of Diogo Jota versus Wilfred Ndidi. Todd Cantwell, the early tournament favourite, although having watched Andre Gomez, we might need to go back to the books on that one. We'll be playing against Sheffield United and Nice Marseille. And then some of the games we saw yesterday, Brighton, Bournemouth, we're going to see them, we're going to see Arsenal. There's so much action to come people's way, Smithy. And we've already seen some unbelievable goals today.
We have, and I think we can bring you some of the highlights of today's play. So 3 games took place today. We started off with an absolute blockbuster. Man City against Crystal Palace, and 2 of the best wingers in the game in real life, Raheem Sterling and Wilfried Zaha. They were talking each other up beforehand. Many people had Wilfried Zaha down as one of the favourites to win, but look how competitive they were. Raheem Sterling punched in the air when he scored. We saw Raheem Sterling score with Raheem Sterling, and we saw Wilfried Zaha score with Wilfried Zaha. This was a game we just quite simply couldn't call. 2-2 at this stage. Crystal Palace, thanks to Wilfried Zaha, going in the lead. But then this disgusting, sweaty goal. That was the words that Wilfried Zaha used to describe Raheem Sterling for that goal. He said, "You're a joke, mate." But it didn't matter because they did win 5-4. So Raheem Sterling going through to the next round. Game 2 saw Tom Grennan representing his beloved Man United going up against Trent Alexander-Arnold, another favourite in this tournament. Worth pointing out, this is a very close first half. But Trent Alexander-Arnold did sail ahead. Tom Grennan missing some big chances that were costly. And then second half, it was just one-way traffic. That was the goal of the game. Look at what it means to Trent. Arm in the air. 5-0 at this stage. Tom Grennan did get a consolation. He was absolutely buzzing with that. But it finished 5-1 to Liverpool. Trent Alexander-Arnold goes through. Our third match was, well, quite simply one that Reece James will never want to watch ever again. Both of them very modest in their assessment going into it about how they are, and FIFA said they're not bad, they're not the greatest. I think Andre Gomez, that is one of the biggest understatements we've heard all tournament because he was quite simply sensational. The final score in this one, Everton 8, Chelsea 0. I repeat, Everton 8, Chelsea 0. So, Joe, quite simply, an unbelievable match. And I think we've got to start by talking about the previous game, Andre Gomez. We did him a bit of a disservice before, saying we didn't know how he was going to be. 8-0. He's now, as you said earlier, throwing away the rulebook. And maybe we need to put him higher up the odds and give him a shot at winning this tournament. He was that good, wasn't he?
Yeah, why not? One of the best performances we've seen throughout the 2 days so far. We also saw Neil Maupay put in an excellent performance yesterday, but one of just 2 men to keep clean sheets so far. Obviously, we saw Philip Billing, who has been billed as an early tournament favourite, go through 4-0 yesterday, but 8-0 is a marker in any tournament. Reece James totally swept aside. The use of Dominic Calvert-Lewin, obviously playing in 85 mode, really helped him, scored a bunch of goals. And I couldn't believe what I was witnessing. Andre Gomez said that he hadn't played before a week ago. I don't know whether to believe him or not, but it seems suspicious.
Do you believe him though, Joe? Do we believe him?
I'll be honest with you, I don't. I'll be honest with you, I'm not. I reckon he's played a lot more than he's letting on. Maybe he's trying to make himself dark horse, but he's going to have to a very good player in Raheem Sterling. Sterling obviously shipped 4 goals against Zaha, but scored 5. A great performance, and that fixture is tasty.
Yeah, absolutely right. Indeed, that is very tasty. And as well as myself and Joe throughout this tournament, please say that our good friend Harry Panera is joining us, covering all of these actions. Harry, Joe and I were just talking about Andre Gomez. What do you think's been the game of the day so far? I think we've talked about Andre in terms of how he's played, but it was the most exciting game, the first game that we saw, and that competitive battle that ensued between Wilfried Zaha and Raheem Sterling.
Yeah, 100%. I'd say the game between Zaha and Sterling was action-packed. It was start to finish. You didn't know where it was going to go until Sterling obviously made his lead two goals much more stronger. But in terms of the most surprising game, I'd say the Andre Gomez game, because we didn't know what he was going to bring to the table. I did say it before, like I said always, anyone with a gamer chair is probably a very good player. But he was very calm with his assessment of himself, which probably fooled us all. And then he showed a 8-0 thrilling, basically. So, it was a great performance for him. But yeah, I would say it was the Zaha and Sterling game, which was the best one for me.
Joe, talking about that Zaha and Sterling game, we've got to talk about that goal. Everyone's been talking about that goal. It's been clipped up. We've seen people talking about it on social media. The players are talking about it. Wilfried Zaha described Raheem's goal as disgusting, sweaty. I think he said, "You are a joke, man." Worth pointing out, they are good friends. It was said in context. But I think this is going to rumble on, mate, isn't it, between Wilf and Raheem?
Yeah, why not as well? Why not? I'm perfectly happy to see people sweating goals as well. And I think you're going to see it towards the latter stage of this tournament an awful lot. Players are much more competitive than they're letting on. We saw Neil Maupay say yesterday he is desperate to win the competition. He's going to be watching his opposition's early games. And I can guarantee you, if we get to the latter stages and people are going through one-on-one, you will see sweaty goals, Smithy. We all do it against our friends. This is no different.
Yeah, we are all guilty of that. It's worth pointing out. Let's talk about Trent as well. I feel like we've spoken a lot about Andre's game because it was 8-0. We've spoken a lot about the other game because it was exciting between Man City and Crystal Palace. But Trent Alexander-Arnold looked very comfortable, Harry, didn't he?
Very comfortable. I mean, you could see it by his performance. It was very cutthroat. We've obviously, me and Joe, have seen him play FIFA tournaments before, so we kind of knew what we was expecting. But I didn't expect him to be so relentless with his finishing. It was a great performance defensively as well and offensively. So I think he's a very good candidate for the winner of this trophy. So looking forward to see who else can match him, but definitely one to look out for.
Joe, as good as Trent was, do you think Tom was a bit unlucky? Because Tom Grennan at the end was shouting at us, look at the stats. He hit the post. We saw some good saves. Do you think he was a bit unlucky in the first half? Because he wanted us to know, he wanted us to see, should I say, the in-game stats at the end, didn't he?
Yeah, for sure. And I think in the first half, there was definitely chances that he probably wishes he'd taken now. But in the second half, I think Trent Alexander-Arnold was the better player and kind of grew into the game. Very good defensively. In particular, he talked about how much he backs himself as a defender, didn't he? So we can obviously go and speak to Trent Alexander-Arnold now, I believe.
Yeah, we're having a few issues at the minute. So, as I say, Trent Alexander-Arnold, one of the players that was absolutely emphatic form, winning 5-1 today. And a lot of Liverpool fans very happy. And a little while ago, I caught up with Trent to quiz him on his Liverpool teammates' FIFA stats. Here's what he had to say. Trent, we're going to talk about your Liverpool teammates' FIFA stats here, so FIFA 20. You're a bit of a FIFA player, aren't you? You rate yourself. How good are you at FIFA?
I say I'm pretty good, yeah. I'm not going to oversell myself and say okay. I'm unbelievable, but I play it quite a bit. I've not really else to do except play football and play FIFA.
Do you remember your first ever FUT item, FIFA Ultimate Team card?
I think it was a 68.
It was, yes,
68, yeah.
FIFA 17, 68. And the interesting thing about this is, I was looking at your card before the interview, you were down as a right midfielder then. And of course, you're a right back now. So where is your favourite position to play?
Right back.
Right back?
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about your fullback partnership with Robbo, because whenever anyone talks about Trent or Robbo, they talk about the other one as well. It's almost like you come as a duo. You seem to be very competitive over assists. I think you edged it last season. Do you have that competitiveness between each other? Do you give each other a bit of banter when one of you gets an assist, or how does it play out?
No, we don't really think about it too much during the season. It's just a friendly competition. Obviously, assists and goals, which we've scored a few more than what we did manage last season, so we're making improvements in that department.
So it's a healthy rivalry.
Yeah.
So on you two, who do you think has the better crossing on FIFA 20?
I'd say Robbo.
It is Robbo. Listen to this. Trent Alexander-Arnold, 88. Andrew Robertson, 89. So one in it.
Yeah.
So you said Robbo. Are you a bit gutted about that, or do you think they've got that? It's not for me to say, I don't set the rules, but it's not.
There's not a lot in it at all. I'd say we're probably about even.
Okay. Earlier on in the season, incidentally, I did this feature with Rhian Brewster, a teammate who has just gone on loan to Swansea, of course. He said, when asked about you two, that you are the best fullback pairing in the world. There is no one better. So do you agree with him there?
I'd say it works perfectly, because I'd say I'm more of a passer of the ball and he's more of a runner.
So you complement each other games, you mean?
Yeah, so it's not like identical where we're both two defensive fullbacks or both two unbelievably attacking. He runs a lot more than me. He's a better dribbler, and I like to pass the ball more than running with it. So I think it works in that way, and I think to have that balance is good within the team.
Of course, Liverpool, blessed, you mentioned them earlier, with great attackers. But which attacker in your squad do you think has the highest overall rating on FIFA 20?
Mo.
Yeah, correct again. Yeah, third, Firmino, all great stats, of course, 86. Second, Mane, 88. First, Mo Salah with 90. So did you know that from playing the game, or was that?
Yeah, I knew that from playing the game.
Yeah. Best front three in world football, do you think?
Yeah.
Got to be.
Yeah.
Okay, next up. This is interesting, actually. Liverpool's midfield, obviously renowned for being able to attack and defend. But who's the most all-round midfielder at the club? So total stats combined on FIFA 20. Who do you think is the most all-round midfielder?
Say Ginny.
It is again, yes. Yeah. How impressed have you been with how much he's developed his game recently and how much he's improved?
Like I said, the way that the full-backs attack, they obviously cover us a lot. The balance that we have nearly enough every game, and the performances that they put in sometimes probably go unrecognised and unnoticed to many, but within the team they're so valued, and we all appreciate the amount of stuff that they do for us.
EA recently announced the Team of the Year for 2019. This was amazing. 10 Liverpool players nominated for the team. Can you tell me which players made the final team? I think this is quite an easy one, actually, because I've seen a photo of the players that were there.
Yeah, we all there.
So go on, just reveal who they were.
Ali,
Yeah.
me, Veg, Robbo, Sadio.
Absolutely amazing, which just illustrates the great year you've all had.
Yeah.
Any players that you think were unlucky not to make that team?
All of them, really.
All of them,
yeah. Obviously, it's team sport, and to do the things that we've done, it takes obviously more than just the 11 people that start. It takes a full squad. So I'd say the 10 people that were nominated. I don't think Joel got nominated either, which is a bit strange, because he proved that he was one of the best centre-backs in the league, if not the world, over the course of last season. And yeah, I think to do the things that we've done, we've had to work so hard and put the time in. So I'd say it was disappointing not to see the whole team in a Liverpool team.
Yeah. And speaking of Liverpool players, obviously very popular in FIFA 20, but do you know who's the most used player in the entire game?
Maybe Virgil.
It's not, no. Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Fabinho. Almost 6 million individual games of FIFA. Fabinho, yeah. I mean, he's in your ultimate team, isn't he?
Yeah.
How many players, Liverpool players have you got?
I have a lot of legends in mine.
Have you, right?
Yeah. And obviously now you're starting to get like the special cards and that they're coming out, which is always good. So yeah, I'll be using some of them as well.
Trent, pleasure speaking to you as always.
Thank you.
Good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank
mate.
you.
Top man.
Yeah, thanks to Trent. They're always great to catch up with him. Top man. He does know his FIFA, and of course, he's having a great season. Worth pointing out, incidentally, that was filmed back in January. Joe, let's talk about Trent. What a season he's having. He's such an exciting young player, isn't he? I mean, gets goals, gets assists. He's just got so much to his game for such a young player.
Yeah, he's developed so quickly over the last few seasons, hasn't he? I mean, he is one of the players redefining what it means to be a fullback. Gary Neville, those years ago, famously said, or Jamie Carragher, I think it was, that famously said, nobody wants to grow up and be a fullback. Yeah. Trent Alexander-Arnold is now disproving that fact. Incredible going forward, incredible going backwards. It's just so impressive to see, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Jamie Redknapp said no one wants to grow up to be Gary Neville. Obviously, in jest, they're good friends. So it was very, very funny and picked up by a lot of people. The other thing is, I've been lucky enough to speak to Trent on a few occasions, is that he always talks about that partnership with Andrew Robertson. The stats are very similar on FIFA. The stats in terms of assists are very similar as well throughout the season. They're both great on the ball. They're both great off the ball. It's a really healthy rivalry those two have, isn't it? You can tell that they like competing against each other.
Yeah, 100%. I remember when we were down there speaking to Trent, he was telling you about that rivalry, wasn't he? And we've seen it, even a friendship over this self-isolation period. Andy Robertson was saying that he was calling Trent Alexander-Arnold 4 times a day, which is just hilarious, isn't it? It's just great to see the camaraderie in this Liverpool squad. And part of the reason that they are doing so well is that team ethos. Everybody's friends with each other. There's a really, really close bond between the players. And you can see that especially in the rivalry between the two fullbacks.
Yeah, we'll bring in Harry Pinero here as well. We'll continue to talk about Trent because he was one of the players that featured. Liverpool have had such a good season, Harry. It's very hard to single out a player because they've been so good. So many players have performed to their maximum. But do you feel like Trent's been one of the most consistent players for Liverpool? Because I can never seem to remember him having a bad game.
Yeah, I think he's more than consistent. I think he's crucial for Liverpool to be in the position that they're in right now. I think he's so young as well, and he's got so much to learn. But with what he's already offering, you can see where his career is going to end up. And with Robertson on the other side of the pitch as well, it's an amazing, coup to have both of them on attacking and defending for you. And I feel like with him, 12 assists in the Premier League, that's numbers for a midfield player, and he's doing that from fullback. And I just think he's arguably the best right back England have got. And moving forward in the future, he could potentially be one of the best. So moving forward, he's a great player.
And of course, Joe, the other thing we took from that is how much he knew his FIFA in that interview. Got a lot of them right. So we know, having seen him play FIFA, that he's a decent player, but he's also very knowledgeable about the game as well.
Yeah, of course. This isn't his first FIFA tournament, is it? He's played in FIFA tournaments in the past. People were talking about him coming into this EPL Invitational as one of the favourites. And he's gone through fairly comfortably in the end against Tom Grennan. It didn't get off the easiest of starts, but was 5-0 up until the latter stages. So despite struggling early doors, still managed to breeze through, which could be an early indicator that he's going to grow into this tournament. And when he grows into the tournament, he could be a real danger man.
Yeah, well, if you have just joined us, we can look at the goals from yesterday. We saw 4 games that took place yesterday, and here is what happened. It started off with John McGinn representing Aston Villa against Neil Maupay of Brighton. A lot of people talking about Neil Maupay as one of the favourites for this tournament at the start. John McGinn was honest in his assessment, saying he doesn't play a great deal of FIFA, and it did show, John, because Neil was 4-0 up just after the 30-minute mark. 31 minutes on the clock, 4-0. But John McGinn made 3 substitutions at half-time and scored the first goal of the second half, and you see what it meant to him. Jumping up and down in his living room, celebrating that. But Neil was having none of it as the game finished 6-1. Neil Maupay in his chair advanced to the next round. Our next game saw Josh Franceschi of Yumi at 6 from Arsenal taking on Nathaniel Chalobah of Watford. The Battle of London Colney, the 2 training grounds that are back-to-back with each other. And this was a game that we couldn't call. It ebbed and flowed. It went Arsenal's way, it went Watford's way. Josh Franceschi saying that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is his favourite player for Arsenal, and he was his favourite player on FIFA as well because he was the difference. Nathaniel did get back into it. 3-3 at one stage. Were we going to golden goal? No, we weren't, because Aubameyang scored late to mean that Arsenal go through to the next round. Our next game was Dwight McNeil against Ryan Fredericks. Dwight McNeil looking very, very focused and started the game very well as well. Taking an early lead, it then went 2-0 up. Dwight McNeil very calm in his celebrations as well. But then Ryan Fredericks, 2 goals in very quick succession. No celebration. We didn't see the replays. He wouldn't answer the questions. He was that focused. went straight in. Another game we thought we might see golden goal, but then Dwight McNeil scoring with Dwight McNeil to win the game as Burnley advanced. Our fourth and final game of day one saw Philip Billing of Bournemouth take on Angus Gunn of Southampton. We were treated to a Philip Billing goal by Philip Billing and an Angus Gunn save from Angus Gunn. But this was extremely one-sided. Our only clean sheet of day one went to Philip Billing for Bournemouth. So there we go. Joe, that was just some of the highlights of day one. And it was a good day, wasn't it?
Day one was a fantastic day, wasn't it? We saw two real contenders, I think, for the overall tournament in Neil Maupay and Philip Billing. Maybe a little bit unfortunate they both face each other next because Philip Billing was second favourite for the tournament behind Todd Cantwell and Neil Maupay just blew John McGinn away. But nobody's talking about Dwight McNeil right now, and I think he could be a dark horse growing into the tournament, Smiths.
Yeah, very good point. I would agree with you. And we spoke to Dwight McNeil earlier on in the season. He did admit that he's a big FIFA player. Delighted to say that we are almost ready to go in our first game. Moussa Sissoko of Spurs against Christian Atsu of Newcastle. So we can speak to the players now. Moussa, it's Smithy. Hope you are well. How much are you looking forward to representing Spurs in this tournament?
Yeah, hi. Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you. Hopefully you too. I will try to do my best and all the players they are confident of me, so I will try to go far as I can.
Now, I've seen you play a few FIFA matches in the past. Just give the fans, the viewers, an insight into what you're like at FIFA. How good are you, would you say?
To be honest with you, I used to be good in the past. And then now because I got some kids, so it's difficult for me to play. But now because of the lockdown, so I have maybe more time to play. So I'm trying to go back at my level, so we'll see today if I'm a good player or not.
And of course, your first game, you're coming up against your former club in Newcastle.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a tough game, but I know Christian, so hopefully it will be a good game. And but what I want is a win, so let's do it.
Love that. And just finally, you said you know Christian there. What do you know about Christian's FIFA playing ability?
I know he's a quick player, so he has good skills. So it's going to be a danger for me. But on the left side, I have a good right back, so hopefully he will block him.
Love that. So those are the thoughts of Moussa Sissoko. This is going to be an interesting game, this one, Joe.
Yeah, really interesting. Christian, I believe you join us as well. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, sure, I can.
So we just heard from Moussa there. He says he's feeling pretty confident. How are you feeling ahead of today?
Yeah, I'm really excited about this game and playing against Moussa Sissoko. I think I'm very happy, and it will be a very good game.
Do you play a lot of FIFA against Newcastle players and your friends?
There was a time, not every time, but sometimes we play, and then we have Aaron, who is also very good, but unfortunately he's not here, so I have to represent Newcastle now, and I'm very happy to do that.
And how far are you aiming to go in this tournament? Do you want to win it?
Yeah, of course. If I can win it, I'll be very happy, and that's why I made up my mind to join. I want to win for Newcastle.
Don't
Can
drink
you
too
give us
much.
any insight into how you're going to play today? Is there any specific way you're going to play?
I want to play attacking game, but also to defend very good, because in this FIFA 20, if you don't know how to defend, they are going to score you a lot. So you have to be very careful, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be very compact on the pitch.
There we go, Smithy.
Love that. Okay, right, as is traditional, Moussa and Christian, what we're going to do now, just going to ask you a few FIFA questions. So we're going to test you on your knowledge of FIFA 20. So here's how it's going to work. Moussa, you first, because you're the home team. We're going to ask you 3 questions. These are all related to FIFA 20. I see how excited you are already. Then, Christian, you will get 3 questions, and whoever gets the most right will win the quiz. So, Moussa, are you ready for this?
Okay, let's go.
Okay. Who do you think has the better physical stats, yourself or Newcastle's Joe Linton?
I would say me.
Joe Linton, 81. Moussa Sissoko, 89. It is you. Yes, congratulations. You got the first one right.
Good.
Okay,
Next one.
next up. Next up, straight away. Which Spurs player has the best shooting stat in the Premier League?
I would say Harry Kane.
It is Harry Kane, 91. And is that right for you, Harry Kane? Obviously, must be a great player to play alongside.
Yeah, of course, and we know the talent of Harry Kane, so he's one of the best striker in the world, and I think he showed it during many years now in Premier League. So, and maybe this year is be complicated for him because he gets injured, but hopefully when we will go back, he will come again and start some goals because we need it.
Okay, so that is 2 out of 2. Your third and final question, Moussa. Who do you think is faster, according to FIFA 20, Heung-min Son or Stevie Bergwijn? It's not a lot in it. It's very close.
Honestly, difficult question because they are both quick, and but if I need to say someone, I will say Stevie.
Heung-min Son, 88. Stevie Bergwijn, 89. You are correct. It's a full house, 3 out of 3, Moussa. How much confidence does that give you going into the game that you've got 3 questions out of 3 right?
Now my level is very high, so I'm very happy and confident. So let's start the game.
Okay, before we do, Christian, see if you can beat that. 3 quick questions for you. Who do you think is faster, Alan Sen-Maximan or Spurs' Lucas?
Alan.
It is.
I
Lucas,
think
92.
Alan
Alan
is
Sen-Maximan, 9. You are right, 93. So it's 1 out of 1. 2 more questions. Who do you think has the better heading accuracy, Harry Kane or Andy Carroll?
Andy Carroll.
You are right, yes. Harry Kane, 86. Andy Carroll, 90. So if you get the next one right, it is a draw. So you need this to get it right. And it's about goalkeepers. We know that Martin Dubravka is one of the highest rated players in the Newcastle team. But who has better handling, Dubravka or Lloris?
Come again, please.
So Martin Dubravka, as we know, highest rated player, one of the highest rated players at Newcastle. But who has better handling out of the 2 goalies? So better handling, Dubravka or Lloris?
I will go for Dubravka.
Dubravka 80, Lloris 82. It is incorrect, Christian, which means you scored 2 out of 3. Moussa, you have won the quiz. Does that give you any sort of psychological advantage going into this?
Let's go, yeah. I took the advantage. I'm in his head. So let's go.
Okay, you're in his head, as you said. We are ready to go, so you can start the game.
Good luck, Moussa.
For the game, sorry.
Here we go then. In the arena, we can see Christian Atsu warming up in the arena ahead of Newcastle against Tottenham. The winner of this will go on to face Trent Alexander-Arnold, who managed to dispatch Tom Grennan 5-1 at the last 16 earlier in the day. We've seen some incredible performances so far. Plenty of goals. In fact, an 8-0 in the last match between Everton and... it was, who did Everton beat in the last round? Everton beat
Chelsea.
Reece James's Chelsea, of course, in the last round. Sorry, totally forgot there. The game is nearly ready to start then, Harry. How do you see this one panning out?
Well, the energies from both players are very, very high, so I'm guessing it's going to be a very, very high-scoring game. Moussa Sissoko has obviously said he was a good player. Maybe still is. Maybe he might be trying to do what Andre Gomez did, but who knows? And I'm yet to see what Christian Atsu can offer, so I'm intrigued to see this. But very, very excited, Joe.
Yeah, of course. We are playing in 85 rated kickoff mode, so it is a completely level playing field. All of the players are even and fair, other than height and weight, of course, which won't be changed. There's a chance for Joe Linton early doors, but it isn't to be. Smithy, there's been some incredible matches so far, though, hasn't there, in the first 2 days?
Yeah, we blessed Joe with so many goals. I mean, today alone we saw Man City beating Crystal Palace 5-4. Trent Alexander-Arnold for Liverpool beating Man United's Tom Grennan 5-1. One of our celebrity players that featured, of course. And of course, 8-0 victory in our last game. That was, of course, Reece James losing to Andre Gomez. We've now got Newcastle against Tottenham. And of course, these teams met once this season. It was quite a famous victory as well for Newcastle at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Both Sissoko and Atsu featured in that. Atsu coming on for the injured Saint-Maximin, you remember. And he provided that excellent assist for Joel Linton to score his very first Newcastle goal. Lucas Moura did have a chance to score from Sissoko's cross, but he did miss a chance that we'd expect Lucas Moura to score given his ability. So it was a big win, famous win for Newcastle. That was in the 25th of August 2019, early on in the season, that gave Newcastle all 3 points at Tottenham. So not a lot of goals, but it was exciting nonetheless. And this game started quite similar, Joe. Not seen a goal yet, which is quite rare for what we've been blessed with so far, but I think this first goal is going to be very important.
Yeah, 10 minutes into the game, usually we're about 4-0 up by this stage, but nevertheless, it looks like these two players are going to take a slightly different tact. A lot of patient build-up from both sides here. You know, Tottenham at the moment pushing forward, but Christian Atsu also looking to play on the break. There's been plenty of goals over the last 2 days, and it's been 2 days that's seen Neil Mopai progress already through one round, as has Philip Billing, Franceschi and McNeil through to this round of 16. Tomorrow's games, you'll see all of those guys play yet again, as will Diogo Jota, Wilfred Ndidi, Todd Cantwell, who comes in as the tournament favourite. He'll be taking on Lys Mousset. It's just been so many goals. Harry, is there a particular one that stands out to you?
Yeah, it's got to be the Trent goal from with Salah. Mane. Sorry. Oh, there's a goal. There's been a goal from Atsu. Joe, wasn't expecting that, was you?
No, it wasn't. Joe Linton there, just picking up on some scraps in and around the area. A really tidy finish. Christian Atsu goes 1-0. Christian, I don't know whether you can still hear me. Talk us through that goal.
Yeah. That was a very good goal, good move, and a great finish from Jordan.
Yes, indeed, Smithy. Newcastle 1, Tottenham 0 then.
Yeah, Newcastle getting the early goal fairly early on in this first half, but still enough time for Moussa to get back in it. Of course, Moussa Sissoko, as he spoke about, coming up against his former club, signed for Spurs from Newcastle. That was in August 2016 for 30 minutes. A big signing for Tottenham at the time. So yeah, big game for Moussa. He will not want to go out this early on against his former club. But Christian Atsu looking like he's a decent player, Joe, as this is a big opportunity for Spurs to get back in it.
Yeah, first 20 minutes, I think they're just feeling each other out, seeing what sort of tactics you can expect from both sides. Obviously, the other games we've seen, it's been helter-skelter, people just scoring goals for fun, attack. This one is a little bit more cautious so far. It's seen the likes of Raheem Sterling and Wilfried Zaha score 9 goals in one game. Trent Alexander-Arnold beat Tom with 6 goals in that game. There was 8 in the Everton-Chelsea game. There was a little bit of lag in this game, so it might be affecting the players a little bit. So bear with us. Obviously, we are all trying to do our best here, doing it from our own living rooms effectively. But at the moment, it's quite cautious, isn't it, Harry?
Very, very cautious. I think, they're giving the ball away there. But I think it's one of those games where a mistake is what's going to cost you here, because they've been very, very defensive. Hasn't really been an attacking game so far. Christian Atsu obviously had one opportunity and has taken it. But apart from that, it's been very, very cagey. A proper Premier League affair, if you ask me. But yeah, pretty good game so far, Joe.
Yeah, maybe the most realistic game we've seen so far. Obviously, Andre Gomez absolutely dispatching Reece James in the game before. I think at this stage he was about 3-0 up already. We hadn't spoken about Andre Gomez coming into the tournament. There wasn't really much made of him, but it was kind of a shock because Reece James, people had been saying was a good player, and he just came in and absolutely breezed the game, didn't he, Smithy?
He did, yeah. I think you're spot on in your comments there, Joe, by saying we didn't give him enough credit going into it. But I don't think he gave himself enough credit going into it. We asked what he was like as a player, and he was talking down his chances, very modest. Even in his post-match assessment, he said he thought he did okay. He did better than okay. He was one of the top performers of the tournament so far. Another chance for Newcastle. Could this be 2-0? Oh, Hugo Lloris handles the ball there, and that is to the delight of Moussa Sissoko. But just looking at this half of the draw, the left-hand side, these are the 4 last 16 matches we have been giving you all day today. Just worth pointing out, the winner of this match will play Trent Alexander-Arnold. And what I think is interesting about this match we're seeing, Joe, I think it's the first time we're really seeing sort of defensive display, and also both players feeling each other out. In most of the other games, we've seen so many goals early on, whereas this one, I think both opponents are really sort of trying to feel themselves out, and I think it might be a very different second half. And I think if Moussa remains 1-0 down, whether or not he'll look to make any substitutions, it will be very interesting to see at the half-time stage.
Yeah, well, the winner of this game will go on to face Trent Alexander-Arnold, who is an exceptionally good FIFA player. He's obviously played in FIFA tournaments in the past, and he dispatched of one of two celebrity players, Tom Grennan, representing Manchester United, in a massive game between United and Liverpool. The other celebrity player we've got in the draw, of course, is Josh Franceschi, and he won his game, didn't he, against Watford's Nathaniel Chalobah. Harry, do you think there's extra pressure on the celebrity fans compared to the players?
Much more. I think the simple fact that they're not players and they're representing their teams is enough pressure for themselves. But we've seen one out of the two celebrities do a great job at representing their team with Arsenal and Joe. But it's one of them things where you just have to put your all into it, and they have tried. I can't say none of the players haven't, proved that they should have been representing their team. Done a good job. But, it's just the opposition that they've come against has been really, really difficult. But, yeah, much more pressure than the football players, I'd say, Smith.
There we go. I want to point out, Joe, I think this has been a really good defensive display from Christian Atsu, possibly one of the best we've seen, because Moussa's actually got himself in some decent positions and been on the ball a decent amount of time. It hasn't been all one-way traffic, but Christian Atsu defending really, really well, which is something we haven't seen a lot of in this tournament.
Yeah, totally agree. It's been quite a cagey affair, hasn't it? Christian Atsu looks like he's quite dangerous going forward as well, it has to be said. There is a little bit of lag in this game, as we said earlier. Please bear with us with any technical problems, because obviously we're all doing this from the safety of our own living room. So we are trying our best. At the moment, Christian Atsu is going through. There was one particular game, though, that has stood out today. I have to talk about it, Smithy. Raheem Sterling versus Wilfried Zaha. Maybe the most competitive game we've seen so far. Players celebrating in each other's faces. There's been clips going around talking about sweaty goals. I love to see the competitiveness in that one, didn't you, Smith?
Do you know what this whole tournament has shown me, Joe, is how competitive all the competitors are. Not only in the games, but even in the quiz we do. We do a little light-hearted quiz before we get started. And the players don't even want to lose that. It's so competitive. It's probably why they've got to the top of their game. As Premier League footballers, obviously they're playing at the very highest level. And I think you need that competitive drive to get there. And it's been evident in every FIFA game we've seen. It's been evident in every quiz we've seen. But I think particularly Man City Crystal Palace was the most competitive. Two friends going up against each other. And Wilfried Zaha and Raheem Sterling still being as competitive as ever in the post-match interview. Wilfried Zaha not happy with Raheem Sterling's sweaty goal, as he called it, which ultimately cost him the game because he did win by one goal. Spurs have a chance to get back into it just before the halfway stage. Oh, big chance, Joe. And possibly the last of the half.
Chance. Yeah, I think that probably will be half time. Just 20 seconds left on the clock before that 2 minutes of added time is up. And you have to say, Christian must be pretty happy with that first half display going in 1-0. One of the best defensive displays we've seen so far in this tournament. It's very, very hard to keep clean sheets in the 85 rated mode where it's all even. But Harry, have the people at home that are watching got any questions for these players?
Yes, we've got a question for Moussa. So Moussa, what was the first FIFA you played?
FIFA 16.
FIFA 16? Okay, I remember that one. That's one of the greatest ones. Okay, Christian Atsu. So we've got a question for you as well. How important is it to beat friends at FIFA?
Come again?
How important is it to win a game against your friends at FIFA?
Yeah, I'm very happy, especially in this tournament. I don't want to lose, and I don't want to be out in the first game. So I'm very happy that in the first half I'm able to score, and then the second half I'm going to go in the game, try to defend my goal and try to create chances also. So I'm very happy and winning against him in the first half.
Okay. Well, guys, let's go in for the second half. I wish you guys all the best. Smithy,
Thank you.
This has been a tight one. It's been different from the ones that we've watched
Yeah,
before.
do you know what? It has. I totally agree, Harry. It has been a different type of game to what we've witnessed so far. More of a defensive display. Very few chances for either team. We've been blessed with goals galore, but this has been more of a tactical battle. It is Newcastle 1, Spurs 0. This was the scoreline in the only game that these two played against each other this season, which was at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Newcastle coming 1-0 winners that day. Christian Atsu getting the assist there. So it does remain 1-0 to Newcastle against Spurs. And a big, big half for Moussa Sissoko, because don't forget, if he loses, he is out. It is a straight knockout tournament, this, and the quarter-final will be after this. For Newcastle, they will play Trent Alexander-Arnold. So a tough game for whoever is victorious in this matchup, Joe.
Oof. Yeah, got a chance though, Tottenham here, and that's the sort of chance that has to be taken. Great save by Martin Dubravka in the Newcastle net, and those are the sort of chances that Moussa Sissoko needs to take, because we've seen how good Christian Atsu's defending has been in that first 45 minutes, and just how hard it is to keep clean sheets at this tournament level. Andre Gomez obviously did it against Reece James when he won 8-0. Philip Billing did it as well against Angus Gunn in the South Coast Derby. Those are the only 2 clean sheets we've seen so far, so it's very, very hard. But Christian Atsu is doing really, really well defensively at the moment. Just looking to pick Moussa Sissoko off on the break. Use the pace of the likes of Alan Saint-Maximin and Joe Linton. But at the moment, I think Moussa Sissoko is just growing back into the game second half, Harry.
Very much so. You can see he's a man with a plan. Most of these players are in the Newcastle area and box, in fact, actually. So we're going to see a more attacking... He scored.
Goal!
What's the goal for it?
Moussa Sissoko has equalised. It is 1-1 between Newcastle and Tottenham. Moussa, talk us through that goal.
I'm very happy, and especially because he's my player who scored, so I'm happy. So let's go. It's not finished. I need to stay focused.
Moussa Sissoko there talking about staying focused. We can see Christian Atsu making some changes. Christian, what substitutions are you making?
I'm going to play more attacking. I think I have more chance if I play 2 strikers and strikers who have pace. So I believe I'll be different in this game.
Okay, there we can talk about Christian Atsu saying that he's going a little bit more attacking. We can see him putting himself forward alongside Saint-Maximin, 2 pacey front men for Newcastle United, Smithy.
Yeah, interesting to see. Tactics are out straight away just after that equaliser. It's another player, Moussa Sissoko, scoring with his own player. Must be very satisfying indeed. 54 minutes on the clock as Moussa Sissoko scores against his former club, of course. So it's 1-1. And don't forget, Joe, we've not had a match that is ended as a draw yet. And if that does happen, we do go to golden goal. So this could be the first time in the tournament so far that we do go to golden goal.
Yeah, I feel like there's plenty left in this game just yet, though. We can see Joe Linton coming into the box, but he can't make the most of it. It's fallen to Isaac Hayden, and that is a great chance for Newcastle. It goes begging. A good save down low to his left by Hugo Lloris. Both of these teams are very even, it has to be said. Not much to separate Moussa Sissoko and Christian Atsu 60 minutes into the game, and they'll be faced with a tough prospect of playing Trent Alexander-Arnold, who is one of the best players in the competition. So this game will really be used as a yardstick to see how far they can go in the overall competition. We do still have some big fixtures coming tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to seeing Todd Cantwell in particular. He's been training all week. Notorious on the FIFA scene as an excellent player. As Newcastle have a chance now, it's cut back, must score, doesn't score. Fantastic save by Hugo Lloris yet again. Christian Atsu missing some big chances since he's gone to 2 up front, Harry.
Big chances. I mean, we both all understand that this is a game of few chances, so you've got to take your chances. Maybe Christian Atsu may rue that miss. We're not to know until the final whistle. But it has been a better start to the second half from both teams. It looks like they both want to win this game. However, it has been the keepers that have been the man of the matches at the moment. Some good saves have been pulled off, Joe.
Yeah, definitely. Martin Dubravka and Hugo Lloris in goal. Not much to separate them statistically. Smithy was already talking about them, wasn't he, in his little pre-match quiz. Very, very similar in terms of level when, of course, everybody's playing 85 rated in this game mode. So it's completely fair. Again, apologies if there is any lag on the game. There's not much we can do at the moment. We are trying to fix it, but it is just technical difficulties because everybody is staying home to save lives in their own lounge. But at the moment, Smithy, we could well see the tournament's first draw.
Yeah, we could. We haven't seen it yet at all. Don't forget, it's a golden goal if it's a draw. But Spurs have a chance here. Oh, big chance and a big save from Dubravka. Moussa Sissoko with the chance to go into the lead for the first time. And as you quite rightly say, this could be the first game that we see a golden goal. Harry, I want to ask you, I know that you've been looking at what the fans are saying. These are two teams with big fan bases, very passionate fan bases, Newcastle and Tottenham. What are the fans saying? Are they expecting this to go to golden goal, do you think?
We've got fans saying this might go to penalties. There's nothing that can separate both of the teams. And a lot of the fans are saying that none of the players want to lose this game, and we can see it in the performances. It's a very, very cagey affair, Smithy.
Yeah, interesting to see what you say. Just to confirm, if this game is a draw after 90 minutes, 70 minutes on the clock currently now, we then do go to golden goal. So it will be the first person that scores will win. That is, of course, if it is a draw after 90 minutes. We haven't had that yet so far in the tournament. But Joe, we might be looking at it now.
Yeah, we might be looking at the first draw. It's definitely, by the looks of it, going to be the lowest scoring game we've seen so far. We've seen so many goals, although Moussa Sissoko is going forward now with a chance to shoot, and he's opted to pass. It's not the decision he should have taken, but the ball's still bobbling around in the area, and it's a good save down low to his left by Martin Dubravka. But yeah, as I was saying, this tournament's been packed full of goals. 23 on day one, including 7 apiece in the opening 2 games. We saw 9 goals between Sterling and Zaha, 6 in the Liverpool United game, and then Andre Gomez popped up with 8 of his own against Chelsea and Reece James in what is probably the best display of the tournament. Newcastle have a chance, should score, but he doesn't. He's opted to square it, and he has missed another glaring opportunity there, Harry.
There's some big, big opportunities being thrown away here. I feel like one of these players are going to, feel the brunt of that, missing those chances here. But Atsu does look like he's great defensively, so I don't think it's going to be that much of a problem for now. But yeah, it's a very, very, very tight game. I can't call it, Joe.
Yeah, I think since Christian has moved to the pacey 2 up front, it's really made a difference going forward, that's for sure. Alan Saint-Maximin, of course, now on the ball, plays it into Isaac Hayden. Here's another chance for Saint-Maximin, and it's deflected over the bar. Brilliant defending in the end by Moussa Sissoko there, Smithy.
Yeah, I've got to say this has been some great defensive displays, and both keepers playing really well in this game. Dubravka and Lloris making a string of good saves. As we approach the 80-minute mark, 10 minutes left in this game. And I do agree with Harry. I think that one of these players is going to rue some of these missed chances, because there's been some big chances missed in this game so far, Joe, as we approach the 80-minute mark. Are we going to see a late goal?
Well, I'm sure both sets of fans will be hoping for a late goal. Either way, the winner of this will go through to play Trent Alexander-Arnold, and I think that will be a really tough test for both of these players. Christian Atsu has made tweaks in-game and it has worked, but Moussa Sissoko still had his chances. We've talked about how good the goalkeepers have been in this one. Of course, a reminder that this is 85 rated kickoff mode, so all of the players are playing at an even playing field. It will go to golden goal if there is a draw. At the moment, that looks quite likely. Just 5 minutes left on the clock, Smithy.
Yeah, 5 minutes left, but Newcastle have a chance to win it. And again, the chance is wasted as the ball goes into Hugo Lloris's hand. There's 85 minutes, or just approaching 86 minutes on the clock. You feel like there will be another chance for each player. It just is going to come down to who is going to take it. And as we said, it could be going to our first golden goal of the tournament. Harry, this is exciting stuff, mate. I can't call it.
Neither can I. Golden goal would be the first, as you said, of the tournament so far. So that would be very good to see how that works. But as well, there's an opportunity here. Can he take it? Can he?
Got to score! Got to score!
And he's got it! cut it in right at the end, Joe. We did say there was going to be a goal. What a goal, Joe.
Yes.
Massive moment in the tournament for Christian Atsu. Christian, you must be so happy with that.
So excited because it's I scored in the 88th minute. I'm very happy with Shelby who scored.
The fourth official has indicated
John Joe Shelby getting the goal there for Newcastle that looks like it could well put them through against Liverpool, with Trent Alexander-Arnold, of course, being the opposition there. They might get a third here, Newcastle. Went the sweaty route and it didn't pay off in the end. That is it. Newcastle progressed past Tottenham Hotspur. Christian Atsu beating Moussa Sissoko 2-1. Christian, you look absolutely delighted with that.
Yeah, I'm very happy. Like I said, I didn't want to lose my first game. Now I won it. I'm very happy. I have to concentrate on the next game against Liverpool. Very good side. So I will prepare for them.
Moussa, do you have a message for Christian Atsu after that result?
Yeah, I wish you all the best for the rest of the competition. So it's been a tough game for both. Very well organized. No one wanted to concede some goals, but at the end, there's one winner, is him. So congrats to him, and I wish him all the best for the future.
And Christian, is there anything that you're going to change going into that next game against Trent Alexander-Arnold at Liverpool?
Yes, I will have to change maybe my formation because he's very good in attacking. He has fast wingers and fast strikers. His midfield is very good, so I have to be more compact. Even this one, I tried to open the game in the second half because I saw how Sissoko was playing. He was trying to attack, and I think with Alan and myself on top, I will cause problems. But with Liverpool, it's going to be very hard, so I will be very cautious and then see what happens.
Congratulations then, Christian. Thanks very much, guys, for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Thanks to you. It's been a pleasure. See you.
Thanks, Moussa. There we go then, Smithy. Newcastle progressing to face Liverpool.
Yes, and I've got to say, probably the hardest way to lose the game we've seen in the tournament so far, Harry, because it was right at the death to win it 2-1, a game of very few chances. So probably the toughest exit for any of the players that we've witnessed so far, Harry.
Oh, it's the worst way. It's the worst way to lose right at the end when you've been, fighting hard, great saves from both keepers, as we both mentioned, but to lose at the end is probably the hardest thing. But Atsu deserved it. I think his tenacity with the way he played, the formation he done, it worked. And yeah, he's got a tough opposition against Trent, which won't be easy. He did say he needs to tweak things. He's got to use the pace of him and Aaron's, as he's mentioned, and try and match up to that pace of Liverpool, which won't be easy. But it should be a very good game, Joe, and I can't wait to watch it, man.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see it as well. I think Sam Maximan and Christian Atsu combining as those front two when Christian Atsu made those in-game changes made a massive difference. So I do think he might well try and go from the start, Christian, in the next game, Smithy.
Yeah, I think it's a good point. And I think what is going to be fascinating about this game, Newcastle against Liverpool, it's very different styles. Trent was very much on the attacking foot, like he plays as well. He's so good on the pitch going forward, getting assists, scoring goals. It was a very end-to-end game. And don't forget, Tom Grennan had some big chances in that game. It was quite an open match. Whereas what we saw there, I thought, was the best defensive display for the two players. I mean, I really couldn't call that the 1-1 stage between Moussa Sissoko and Christian Atsu. So I think the difference in styles will be very interesting. And it was interesting, Harry, hearing Christian say that he knows he's going to have to change his style against Trent. I think these players have been watching the other games quite a lot, to gain a bit of insight.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't be? I mean, it's the easiest way to kind of suss out what the opposition's got under their sleeve. Everyone kind of knows around the FIFA community, like we said before, that how good Trent is. And he's proved it today as well. So Atsu obviously knows he's got a lot more work to do in order to maybe reach the same level as Trent has clearly shown that he's at. But yeah, again, we can't let the underdogs be not rated. We got to rate them a bit because look what's happened. We didn't rate Andre Gomez and he scored 8. So it's one of them ones. I feel Atsu's got a lot of training to do, but it should be a very, very good game between the two of them.
So let's just reflect on the whole day's play, Joe. We didn't think we could top yesterday with the amount of goals, but yes, today's been as good, if not even better. Started off with an unbelievable game. We've seen close matches. We've seen a 90th minute winner in the last match. We've seen an 8-0 drubbing. It's literally had it all, isn't it?
Had it absolutely all. And, you know, I've loved the celebrations from the players today. We saw Raheem Sterling absolutely buzzing every time he scored a goal against Wilfried Zaha, celebrating in his own front room. We saw Trent Alexander-Arnold celebrating like a madman when he scored that wonderful goal, the little chip over Tom Grennan. And likewise, even when Tom Grennan scored a consolation goal at 5-0 down, he was punching the sky, wasn't he? So it's been a brilliant day of action, plenty of goals, and I'm sure we're going to see more of the same tomorrow.
Yeah, Harry, it's been great to see how competitive these players have been and watching them celebrate. We saw the fist pump from Trent. I mean, even like I said, Tom Grennan was 5-0 down, but he scored for Man United. He's been a Man United fan since he was 1 year old. It's a big moment for him.
And I think, you know what, as a Man United fan, he must have been thinking, I can't let Liverpool beat me 5-0. I need to take something back from this. For him to score that goal, we saw how much that meant to him. But it just shows the seriousness of the competition, really, because like you said, players and two celebrities are representing their clubs, which they support and actually play for. So there's a lot on the line, and you can clearly see with the celebrations, it shows how much it means to them to score, even if it's just one goal after being beaten 5-0. But it is what it is at the end of the day. Who are we to judge? Who are we to judge?
Yeah, I like that. Right, okay, so that does wrap up our second day. We can have a look at what it means and what we have been witness to. Absolute pleasure to bring you this EPL Invitational Day 2. Look what you've seen. All last 16 matches, and these are all from today's day, which is Day 2. We saw Raheem Sterling beat Wilfried Zaha 5-4 in our first game. Then we saw Trent Alexander-Arnold beating Tom Grennan, one of our two celebrity fans, playing in this 5-1. Reece James, apologies to keep going on about this score. I know that you don't want us to repeat it, but it was 8-0 loss for Reece James against Everton's Andre Gomez. And then probably the harshest way of the day to lose a game, Moussa Sissoko against Christian Atsu. Christian Atsu scoring such a late winner. Heartbreak for Spurs fans. They are out of the tournament. So this is what it means for the draw. We have our last 16 completed on the right-hand side. And of course, today's play was the left-hand side. As you can see, our quarter-final matchups. Liverpool versus Newcastle. We've seen some famous Liverpool v Newcastle Premier League matches down the years. Some of the best games you've ever seen have been involving Liverpool and Newcastle. Will that deliver? Only time will tell. The other quarter-final, Everton against Manchester City. So let's have a look at tomorrow's fixtures. Tomorrow is, of course, Day 3. And these are the fixtures that you will be privileged to watch. We've got Wolves against Leicester. Norwich against Sheffield United. That's his Todd Cantwell play as well. Many people's favourites to go all the way. Brighton against Bournemouth. And Arsenal against Burnley. Interestingly, our only celebrity fan left in the tournament, Josh, for Arsenal. Guys, just finally then, great Day 1, great Day 2 as well. Day 3 tomorrow, Joe. A lot of exciting matches to look forward to there.
Yeah, can't wait to watch Todd Cantwell in particular. But the man you've spoken about, I'm also interested in seeing Diogo Jota in a very, very tough game against Wilfried Ndidi. He might well be one of those sort of players that we haven't spoken enough about because we simply don't know their FIFA pedigree. Much similar to Andre Gomez, really.
Yeah, Harry, who are you looking forward to seeing play tomorrow? A lot of exciting names in action.
Yeah, I think as what Joe said, I would love to see Cantwell play. I've seen him smash a lot of my good friends, so I'd like to see him play against some players as well. And yeah, the unknown of Jota as well. I want to see how good he is because what Andre Gomez has done to us today has proved that we've got to look out for every single player. So yeah, Smithy, can't wait for it tomorrow, lads.
Love that. Okay, so on behalf of myself, Joe, Harry, that is all we've got time for on Day 2. We'll be back tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Our first game, Wolves against Leicester. So thank you for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow. Just a reminder for you all to please stay home, stay safe, and save lives. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.